Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Annie Marquez. I am developing my career as a hybrid photographer and graphic designer. This role aligns with my future biography because my work exists at the intersection of stage imagery, visual storytelling, and design-driven communication. Photography allows me to narrate identity, while design builds systems that carry those narrations outside. Together, create a path where art, message, and entrepreneurship coexist. So the nature of the job, for this field, photography and design require visual literacy, technical skills, conceptual thinking, storytelling, branding awareness, and an understanding of audiences and clients. A photographer must be able to construct images that communicate a meaning, while a designer must take information and make it compelling. To succeed in this job, I must organize projects, respond to feedback, market my work, establish a recognizable visual identity, and adapt to evolving technologies. I bring a native voice, experience in stage photography, film photography, mixed digital processes, and branding related work through entrepreneurship work. I do need a greater industry exposure, a stronger website, a deeper portfolio, publication experience, and a more consistent professional online presence. So for the professional documents, this is my CV, which outlines my education, projects, exhibitions, awards, and scholarships. For my bio, it tells story of who I am, what I make, and why it matters. It reflects a narrative tone rather than just listing achievements. So it says, I am a South Florida-based multidisciplinary photographer and graphic designer, specializing in narrative imagery, stage environments, and visual identity development. My work combines film photography, digital editing, brand design, and have handcraft set construction to produce images that communicate story, emotion, and intention. I approach visual creation as both a artistic practice and a strategic design process. That's just a little bit of like what the bio says. For my resume, it is tailored to the requirements and expectations of photography and design positions. So here I included some past jobs that I have worked as a graphic designer. Um, the first job I had, it was right after my AA with graphic design. And then my second job, even though I started as a sales associate, I quickly move up to the head of marketing where I develop their website and media content. So, um, for my portfolio, I focus on social media based portfolio, so Instagram, because it was easier to manage and it also allowed me to showcase different types of content, such as video and also adding music to pictures. I did a final project last year about the relationship between music and um family rituals and like relationships. So it really connected. It really helped me to showcase that. And it also like I like to make videos since I did it like media content in my previous job. I do have a portfolio that is centered on graphic design. This is a very outdated portfolio and it needs a lot of work. So for my strengths, when I look at my strengths, I see the foundations of a hybrid creative career. One of my strongest attributes is narrative thinking. I don't just take pictures or design graphics. I build visual stories with intention, symbolism, and emotional tone. I genuinely inspired by the media I consume, whether it's literature, film, or music. I draw inspiration for both the overall aesthetic, for my composition, or just the message itself. I also bring a hybrid skill set that includes film and digital photography, darkroom experimentation and experience, stage environments, and graphic design. This combination positions me uniquely because the creative industry values artists who work across mediums and can create both imagery and identity systems. In addition, I am self-directed, organized, and willing to reevaluate or start over. Qualities emphasized in the entrepreneurial courses as essential for creative entrepreneurs. Altogether, my strengths demonstrate that I have an emerging artistic voice supported by technical and strategic thinking. For my weaknesses, they help me understand where I need to build competitive alignment. First, I recognize I have limited exhibition experience and minimal external validation. Uh, this is important for both the professional film field and also for graduate school. My online presence and branding systems are still in development, which affects how consistently I communicate my identity across various platforms. I also need to expand my industry network beyond FAU to gain more collaboration and client-based opportunities. Um, I aim to enhance lighting control for stage photography. I think those are my one of my weaknesses when it comes to photography, to work on my lighting, and to refine my portfolio, to create a more straightforward visual narrative in my work. My resume also reflects early stage experience, so building more diverse placement and professional practices in projects is crucial. Um, the good news is I see these weaknesses as indicators of where I need to grow rather than setbacks. Um, for the opportunities available to me right now, the creative market is shifting towards hybrid roles, and my combination of photography, design, and branding aligns perfectly with this trend. There are exhibitions, grants, internships, and residencies that align with my narrative and experimental style. This is for the other opportunities. And beyond institutional opportunities, building a strong portfolio website opens visibility on a global scale. These opportunities show that the next stage of my career is not only possible but supported by multiple pathways. For um, the trends reflect the realities of entering a creative industry. Photography and design are highly competitive fields, and many emerging artists are fighting for visibility. Technology changes rapidly, especially with AI, which means that I must remain adaptable and continue to build a personal voice that AI cannot replicate. Um, ext oop, extreme strengthening my performance. Time constraints and workload are also genuine trends. Um, Balancing academic, creative, and professional responsibilities require discipline, effective prioritization. Um, what I like about this whole analysis is that it gives me a clear roadmap. My strengths reveal my confidence, my weaknesses indicate areas for improvement, my opportunities highlight my potential, and my threats remind me to stay proactive and adaptable. For SMAR, it is my goal to complete my portfolio or this whole project before my BFA exhibition in the fall of 2026, or by the end of summer 2026. I will create and publish a professional portfolio consisting of a website with a resume and curated visual works. I will also polish my online presence through my Instagram, featuring updated work. I will also work on external portfolio submissions and open calls, both within and outside of FAU, with a goal of securing at least one publication and at least one client inquiry. This demonstrates visibility, alignment, and readiness for photography and design roles. For my triple A self-case study, in the instruction phase, I focus on building the technical, conceptual, and entrepreneurial foundations of my practice. Photography taught me how to construct images with attention, while design helped me understanding the principles of communication and reliability. Critique culture, which is usually in the classroom, help with my ability to analyze and articulate my visual decisions. The entrepreneurship lectures expanded my thinking beyond art making, showing me how system, strategies, and identity can shape a creative career. Together, these elements position me not just as a photographer, but as a hybrid creative, um, prepared to build a sustainable artistic path. During the immersion phase, I apply the knowledge I gained through hands-on projects. I create stage photographs, experiment with both analog and digital processes, and explore how materials and prods contribute to narrative meaning. Immersion is where learning becomes real. I think is where ideas turn into the physical work. For imagination, I think it's all about looking ahead with a vision. So now that I have the technical skills, the narrative clarity, and the entrepreneurship frameworks, I can begin positioning myself as a photographer and designer who serves real people in real communities. I can create branding packages, produce stage photography works for clients, and establish myself as a professional. I also see graduate school exhibitions and having my own business as a long-term direction. For the scale plan, my strategy focuses on building the professional infrastructure. I need to transition into a hybrid role that combines photography and design. So this includes publishing a comprehensive portfolio website that features curated photo work and design projects. My strategy also includes developing a cohesive visual identity, ensuring that my portfolio, resume, and online presence all communicate the same visual aesthetic. Finally, I plan to secure at least two external opportunities, whether that's an exhibition, internship, or a small design or photography client. These milestones will form the structural foundation of my next year. For my craft, I aim to enhance my lighting control for stage photography, refine my typography and layout composition for design, and become more intentional with portfolio sequencing so that my work tells a clear visual story. Alignment is all about recognizing that I am not starting from zero. Many aspects of my experience already align with roles in photography and design. My stage photography work shows narrative construction and conceptual thinking. My work in entrepreneurship, portfolio development, and creative strategy also aligns closely with industry expectations. In the um in the leverage phase, I focus on the access and network already available to me. This includes faculty membership, connection with other artists and art students, and access to FAU gallery opportunities. Execution is where ideas become action and where the scale plan becomes measurable. So my execution plan includes monthly portfolio updates, refining both design and photography context, submitting my work to at least one exhibition, internship, or opportunity every month, and finally publishing my portfolio website by the end of summer of 2026. The entrepreneurship strategy, I apply EC's multi-dimensional identity framework, which emphasizes that artists are no longer single path creators. Instead of choosing between a photographer and a designer, I operate as both, and that multi-dimensionality becomes a competitive advantage. It means I can create images, shape narrative, design visual identities, and build brands. This per this perpec this perspective enables me to craft a career that is adaptable, scalable, and well positioned for a diverse creative economy. Another key element is the product mindset. This concept is basically that the artist is the brand. This means that my imagery, design choices, color palette, tone of voice, and even my presentation all become part of a coherent identity system. My job is to ensure my brand is consistent, visual, recognizable, and trustworthy. So the strengths and weakness of my application. My application shows a clear artistic identity. My stage photography work demonstrate narrative intention, conceptual depth, and a strong sense of visual storytelling. I also bring a hybrid skill set, as I mentioned before. This multidimensional skill range positions me well with cross-disciplinary artists. In terms of weaknesses, my exhibition history is limited and I need more external validation through shows, publications, collaborations, or internships. My website and professional digital presence are still under construction, which affects how potential clients, graduate programs, or employers see me. So finally, for my closing page, as I move forward in my career, I want to create images and designs that communicate meaning and invite reflection. I bring a hybrid practice rooted in curiosity and narrative, supported by the entrepreneurial system. I'm building through this I'm building through this course. I believe I offer not just skill, but a thoughtful and intentional artistic voice. I'm ready to step into the opportunities ahead, and I look forward to growing within this field. So, thank you very much.